Welcome to Beneath the Surface with Scott Gibson. Silver is red hot today, but how do you invest into the market with the prices being so high? Scott and Jim Letourneau of the Big Picture Speculator sat down and discussed gold's sexy cousin, silver. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Scott Gibson with the Beneath the Surface. I'm here with Jim Letourneau of the Big Picture Speculator. Thanks very much for being with us, Jim.
It's a pleasure.
Now, wanted to talk with you a little bit about silver and where silver is right now. You know, we've seen a change in the gold to silver ratio. The silver price has come up to around $40 a share. And I'd love you to share a bit of your comments about silver.
I like silver. I've been a silver bug for a long time. Even when I was going into university in 1980, it's pretty close to the all-time high of silver. I forget the exact year. I was buying silver certificates at a bank, which is one of the worst ways to actually buy silver. But
what are some of the best ways to buy silver?
Physical silver is really nice to have because it can't get screwed up. If you want safety, then you really want safety. If you want capital appreciation, then of course you can speculate. There's ETFs, there's junior companies, senior producers, there's a whole spectrum. But for real safety, you can't screw up a silver coin.
And what about on the speculation side? Personally, I really like the junior mining and exploration companies. It's a great opportunity. How about yourself?
Companies with good projects, I mean, a lot of them are in Mexico, are a great way to participate in the silver market. And I mean, they're going to be making money hand over fist. A lot of the producers are making more money than they've ever made in the history of their companies just because the price has ramped up. I mean, it's free money now, and the price could continue to go higher. People are really worried about, inflation is starting to rear its head. It may not show up in official statistics, but there's a site called the Billion Prices Project on MIT where they track the price of things on the internet on a daily basis, so it's more timely and it's also less biased, and inflation is starting to show up in that data.
And how much of an effect do you think that's going to have on silver and the silver price going forward?
It can go a lot higher, and because we're just at the early stage, maybe a tipping point actually, for people are starting to think about inflation. They're seeing higher prices, and it could take a few years for after a while, all the investors will know, well, it's a way to protect ourselves against inflation. We're not even at that stage yet. So what happens at these shows, I think, sometimes is we get a little ahead of ourselves because we kind of paint a picture that could take 20 years to play out from beginning to end, and we're not even halfway potentially.
Yeah, there could be a lot longer in terms of...
Yeah, there's a lot of runway for this story to continue.
And in terms of the shorter term, what are sort of your expectations of what silver might have the potential to do just in the next, say, 3 to 6 months or a year, relative to the price of gold or just in general?
Maybe gold will catch up. That's just a off-the-cuff kind of... I don't have any real hard data. Silver's had quite a run, so there will be pullbacks, but it's a good metal to be owning.
Yeah, and now, you mentioned Mexico in terms of some of the junior mining and exploration companies that have been focused on Mexico. They've had some good success. Is there specific criteria that you have in terms of the companies you're looking for, in terms of a geographic region, a country that they're in, a stage of development, earlier stage or later stage? For me personally, I kind of like them all, various degrees, where you can find the opportunity. But how about yourself?
I try to be flexible. Ultimately, I want the ones that are going to appreciate in share price. I don't like taking a lot of country risks, but there's so many other risks that are inherent in these companies. We don't always know what's going to be the problem. So I will make an investment in a country that I think is risky as part of a diversified portfolio, especially because usually deposits don't get stolen by corrupt governments until they're actually built. So there's this whole, no one's going to take over a property that's had some drill holes on it. There has to be a functioning mine with some cash flow before the government's even going to want to steal it from the developer. So that's kind of how I look at it. In that interim period, there could be a lot of upside. You may not get the same amount of upside if the project was in Mexico, say, or a more friendly jurisdiction. So usually the deposits are bigger and better in more corrupt countries, and you get the same, it all evens out and you still get a pretty nice lift.
Sort of a relative risk assessment.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Words.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you being here with us, Jim. Thank you very much.
That's good.
That's Scott Gibson of Beneath the Surface with Jim Letourneau of Big Picture Speculator. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you for watching Beneath the Surface with Scott Gibson. Stay tuned for more.